we're going to show you a bunch of different things on this project. We're not going over the top. It's not an overly big home, but we're going to show you some really cool ways to get the most bang for your buck out of using a few of our staple lights. Hey guys, it's Cal from The Lighting Doctor here. I hope you guys enjoy this video with some more great landscape lighting tips. To learn more about landscape lighting, go and check out our website at lightingdoctor.ca, or if you want to see what a real quality landscape light should look like, go and check out our Try It Before You Buy It offer, where you can get a premium quality fixture at a discounted rate with your very own battery pack, so you can go and test out how that light's going to look and feel what a real premium quality light should look like. So go and check us out at lightingdoctor.ca, or go watch more videos on YouTube just by searching for The Lighting Doctor. So guys, on this project we got this beautiful giant palm tree here, and what people tend to do is they'll try and light this whole tree with one light. And a tree like this, a feature tree like this, you really want to try and get two. And as you can see here, we've lit it from two angles. We've got one on this side, and then we've got one on the other side as well here, because we want it to look good from the homeowner's perspective, but we also want it to look good from the street side, so as people passing by can really enjoy this feature too. I wanted to just mention the maple tree. I still think you only need three, but what I would do is I'd either do one of two things with those three lights. I would either have one out here that's shining up, and then have the third one just kind of closer to the base up the column, or I would have one out here, and then the other one kind of behind the grass there. So I still think three would be enough. It just depends if you want to surround the tree, or if you want it to look really good from the street. I would have my two here, and then I would have my one kind of closer to the tree, just shining right up the middle. Guys, another example of a feature tree. We got this beautiful royal palm that's going to end up growing to 50 feet. One of the reasons that I do like the drop-in bulbs that I talk about a lot is, as this tree grows, rather than having to go replace the fixture or mess around with integrated boards and whatnot, we can just pop a brighter bulb in there, and we can really make sure that we're going to go and highlight and accent this whole tree. And the other thing we've done is, you can see in this bed here, there's lots of little plants that we could have highlighted, but we don't need to highlight every one, because we have this beautiful giant palm. And what we've done is, same as we did on some of the other really prominent palm trees, is we've lit it from one side so the homeowner can really enjoy it, but then we've also gone around and we've lit it on the other side, so that from the street you really get to see the magnificence of this giant palm. And then to kind of top things off, we got this other kind of cool gnarly tree. And forgive me, I'm from Canada, not from Florida, so I don't know what these are all called, but we've kind of lit this on the other side from the homeowner's perspective, just to really give this bed a little bit of a highlight, but not overdoing it with lights, where typically what you'd see is most people just put a whole bunch of path lights in here, and you're really not taking advantage of some of the cool landscape that you have here. Hey guys, it's Cal from The Lighting Doctor here. Really excited to be shooting this video from probably my favorite city on the planet, Victoria on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada. Beauty is, weather's nice here, pretty much 12 months a year in relation to the rest of Canada anyway. So we're going to show you a bunch of different things on this project. We're not going over the top. It's not an overly big home, but we're going to show you some really cool ways to get the most bang for your buck out of using a few of our staple lights, and primarily our up and accent light. We're going to use this in a lot of areas just to get some reflective light off a lot of features and trees and stuff that are here, to highlight pathways and different garden areas without having to use a lot of path and area lights. We're also going to be using these as a down light to help create some functional lighting in some dark areas, some driveway areas. So we're going to show you some tree lighting tips, as well as a bunch of other tips. So excited for this, shooting from Vancouver or Victoria on Vancouver Island. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to use our accent light a whole bunch in this property, and a lot of common areas we're going to use that is on some nice trees. We got a really nice tree here that we're going to try and focus on, but one thing I see people do too often, or more times than not, is instead of trying to get that light nice and close to the tree and having it shine up, so you're taking advantage of all the barking structure and then all the branching up top, is they'll bring it far back and try and aim it at the tree. And what happens there is they tend to miss a lot of the lower portions of the trees. And then also when it's depending on the area you live in, if you start losing a lot of foliage in the wintertime, then having that light shine at all the foliage is kind of a waste of time, and you lose a lot of the effect of that light. That's why I like having it closer to the tree. You know, here we're maybe 12, 14, 18 inches away from the base. We're going to have it shooting almost straight up because I want to highlight all this trunking and branching structure as possible, as well as now we're getting that light up into the foliage and into the canopy. So again, with our standard RS uplight from FX Luminaire, there's lots of other good ones out there. I like this guy because it's a real workhorse, and that's what we're going to use on this project. Hey guys, so on this project we're going to be mounting a lot of lights up in the trees and kind of down lighting, getting those lights up nice and high, 20-25 feet up there, shining through the branches so we can kind of create some shadowing down on the ground here. So the thing with that is the wire for the fixtures we have is only it's only about 10 feet long, so I don't want to have a big waterproof connector hanging halfway down the trees. One thing you can do if that's something you have is just go buy a junction box at you know, the Home Depot store or Lowe's or whatever it is, and just put that connection in one of those just so you don't have to look at it. At least it hides it. Another option that we often use is these shrink wrap connectors. Again, you can get them at any home improvement store. What I like about them is they are gel filled here, so once they get, sorry, bee on me here, but they are gel filled, so once they heat up, the gel actually seals around the connection, and they're very inconspicuous, so that's why I like using them. So we're going to use them for this. So I've got my wire to my fixture, so I want to make that a lot longer, and then I can make my connections down in the ground and stuff. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I've got my wires, I'm just going to slide my tube on, because you need to get your tube on the wires first. So we got that on, and one thing I do is I cut, if you can see here, I cut one of them a little bit shorter than the other, and I'll show you why I do that. It's basically so I can cheat and just use one of these as opposed to having to use two, which, same as any of the connections, usually you have to make two for each fixture because you have two wires, but we're going to cheat a little bit and I'll show you how. So basically what I've done is with my wire that's going out into the ground and my fixture wire, I have one longer and one shorter. So I'm going to take the longer one and I'm going to connect it with the shorter one, and I'm actually just going to twist tie those up, just twist them together nice and good, and then I'm going to just bend one of them so it kind of looks like this, right? I don't know if you can see that. So I've got it like this, and I've just got it bent, and then I'm going to twist the other two together, and I'll show you in a second why I do that. And then we're going to twist that, is so that I can go now and I can bend these like this, and the connections aren't going to be touching each other. See how they're separated? So they're not going to be touching each other inside the same shrink wrap connector. They're both in there, they're not touching. Something else you can do just to make sure is sometimes I'll put some electrical tape just around those, just to make sure those connections don't touch, and then I'll go and I will shrink wrap that together. So how you do that is very simple, is you just need a torch of some kind, and then you just lightly warm that up, and you watch it shrink. You're going to be careful not to get too close and burn anything. Make sure all the wires are still inside. It's pretty hot afterwards, so give it a good little, I just try and seal it up a bit, but you can see the ooze is kind of coming out a little bit, so it's all waterproofed in there, and once it solidifies, it's pretty hard, and you are not pulling those wires apart. So if you're doing any tree lighting or need to hide some wire and extend it and make a pretty inconspicuous connection, shrink wrap connectors is a really good way to go. Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video presentation with some great tips and tools on how to go and properly and effectively light up your landscape. And be sure, if you want your own free consultation video, just send me an email at cal@lightingdoctor.ca with a few pictures of your property, and we'll get back to you with some really cool ideas and ways to go and effectively light your property. And be sure to watch the videos after this one for more tips on how to install landscape lighting, as well as how to light up your landscape the best way possible.